Hello.
Evening.
Something slightly different this week, isn't it? Because
because
we'll probably be at Crick.
Yeah, because we're going to Crick this weekend. We just didn't think that
we'd have time to edit a video.
We'd have time to edit.
Yeah, and it's been a year since we've done a Q&A, would you believe?
I know, that's just bonkers,
That is crazy. We were sat outside the boat on the Peak Forest Canal, and we were hoping to do the same on the canal we're on today, which is the Bridgewater, but it was quite late when we got here.
It's been quite mixed as well, isn't it? It keeps raining and then it's like roasting.
And chilly, and you don't want to see us sat in our coats, do you, in June? So
we're very windburnt as well. I noticed that we look really red.
We are slightly. We're not wearing rouge or anything like that, are we?
You might be.
I'm definitely not. We've got our drinks. What are we on? It's cider. What kind of cider is it? I'll get the tin. You can't remember, can you?
Yeah, it's raspberry and pineapple.
It's very nice.
It is.
We're going to take some of this to Crick with us.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And my wine.
Yeah. So it's the Q&A, and we posted on Facebook and on Patreon and YouTube to see if anybody had any questions for us. And thankfully, we got some questions sent in, didn't we?
Did.
And I'm just going to take my watch off because it keeps banging on the table. The first one is from Marjorie Sullivan, who's a patron. Hello, Marjorie.
Hi, Marjorie.
Hello, Paul, Anthony and Dexter. I have two questions. The first...
That's very greedy, Marjorie.
It's not. 2+ years into your adventures, do you have any regrets about moving on to the narrowboat? And the second question, what would you have done differently with the build, if anything? So do we have any regrets about moving on to a narrowboat?
No regrets at all.
No.
We absolutely
none. We love it. It can be hard. There's times when we think, oh, this is amazing, and no wonder we're doing this. Like today was a good example because although there was a bit of rain, it was chilly, the sun came out, the sky was really dramatic. Yeah. We saw people we knew, there were people waving at the side of the canal, there were people in houses at the side of the canal waving excitedly to see us and shouting, nice to meet you. That was really lovely, wasn't it? And
I think it would be easier if we didn't have to keep piggybacking for the car.
Yeah.
So I'm quite envious of boaters who either have jobs where they can do it from the boat
or have given up work.
Just given up work and they don't use a car at all. Because I really wish we weren't so reliant on cars.
Yeah, and it's things like shopping. So although you think, oh, I'll go to another shop that's probably less cost, then it's taking up a lot of your day, isn't it, to drive to that shop.
But while you've got the car, you might as well do that. Regarding what we would change about the build, so we were only talking about this actually. Today's the biggest thing for us, I think, is, and we're looking at how we can do this, is reconfiguring the bedroom, because we'd love a crossover bed, so it was wider, because we always had a king size in the house we lived in, and it does seem really cramped. I'm a bit of an insomniac anyway, but even more so since I come on the boat, I think, because Paul's laughing because I then wake him up.
That's why I've aged. And then if you're not waking me up because you've got insomnia and you're tossing and turning, it's because I'm snoring, so you're giving me a sneaky nudge and then pretending you're asleep.
I used to be up in the house.
Yeah. I think bunk beds. That's the answer. So thanks for those questions, Marjorie. Susan Seller. Hi to you three. My question, and I think I may have more, is do you regret having so much time taken up with your vlogging and popularity? I know one answer will be no, because you have become very popular and love us all just as we love you. But I'm thinking of the impact on your time, especially as you both work, plus the fact that sometimes you don't want to be recognised. You'd rather just get on with why you moved to life on the cut.
That's quite a good question.
Yeah.
I think that you both work. I think I work.
Well, we both work part-time. I'm trying to do more art and more vlogging and do less shows, and I really enjoy my shows, but it's just not easy with all the travel, is it? I think I've said that before. But once I'm at the shows, I really do enjoy them. And I wouldn't say the popularity thing, it just feels really nice. I've just said this to someone. It feels like we're creating this big family of viewers and subscribers and boaters as well that aren't necessarily viewers, but we seem to be extending this family, and it just feels so nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think the vlogging community as well, so we've had some really nice comments from other vloggers.
And made good friends with other vloggers, haven't we? Yeah. Lifelong friends, hopefully.
So, I think we're sort of going off track though.
Yeah.
There are times when Paul's like, I'm going to have to get this finished, and I feel like I'm sat in the boat on my own.
Yeah.
And that can be a bit, especially when I've been in work all day as well.
Yeah, because I'm sometimes up late at night, and you're getting ready for bed, and you sat watching TV on your own, and I've got my headphones in, and I'm editing. But yeah, the answer to that is, Anthony, do a live chat, and then because then
you can't do that
I've
every
got
week, can you? So you're going to have to edit at some point.
Yeah.
And I think so. Yes, in a way, it does start to
impact on your personal
a little
life,
bit,
definitely.
However, we're glad we've done it because we've met so many nice people, and you know, I keep saying this, but like the familiar names, I've not even had a cider.
That's easy for you to say.
That much.
That we see
crop up
cropping
every
up
week, and it does feel like we know these people, and probably like you guys feel like you know us as well, and we really like that.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice, and also I was saying to you yesterday, wasn't I, that people chat to us that wouldn't necessarily chat to us, not because they're being ignorant or rude, but they'll like we saw someone the other day. It was Chris, wasn't it? Yeah. And we were just putting stuff in the car. I think we'd been to the pub for a quick drink. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I watch your videos," and that
you wouldn't just talk to some random stranger, would you?
No, I do.
Well, but I mean, like, if you were going down the towpath, you wouldn't necessarily have a conversation with somebody you didn't actually know at all.
Yeah.
So we're glad we've done it. We are glad we've done it. It does have a slight impact sometimes, not always.
Yeah, but we don't regret it.
But the positives far outweigh the negatives. And
in the same way as boating does, really, isn't it? There's quite a lot of negatives.
And the fact that you were saying, like, sometimes it stops you getting on, I don't feel that, because and I've said this, like, about just generally people who are known publicly, and I wouldn't say we were particularly known publicly, but if you're going to put yourself out there in a public forum, then you've got to accept that people will want to talk to you, and I just think if you're not prepared for that, then you shouldn't be doing it.
No, and we enjoy that, don't we? I mean, I've worked in holiday parks, and I just loved everybody knew you because you'd been on stage the night before, and they chat to you the next day, and you formed friendships that still, to this day, I'm still friends with some of those people after 28 years, 35 years. It's crazy. But
I've always had a public-facing role as well, so for me, I really like chatting to people on, even like patients and stuff,
and you got recognised by a patient, didn't you, the other week?
Oh God, that was
even though you had your mask on.
That was really bizarre. I'm glasses, so I had my glasses on and a mask on.
It's disguised, really.
And this guy was like, "Oh, it's Narrowboat Boy," and I was like, "This is really surreal," but that was really nice. It was really nice to meet other people from my job, because I've never had that.
I think for me, a couple of surreal things were when we were in Yorkshire and we'd been on TV about a week or two earlier, and some people were asking, like, they stopped in the tracks, a big group of people, and were you on TV the other day? We're like, yeah.
We thought you were on Prime Watch.
Yeah. And then the other one was in a supermarket in my hometown, and this lady who worked there tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, I should be asking for your autograph." And she was chatting, she'd seen not our YouTube channel, but on our TV.
But you used to chat to her before, didn't you, before we moved on to
she knew, yeah. So that was lovely.
Yeah.
So thanks for that question. Thanks very much, Susan. And the next question is from Kathy Gilleran, and Kathy says, "What's been your least favourite thing about being on a narrowboat, and the best thing, and do you see yourself on a wide beam in the future?"
I guess if we became too infirm to not be able to operate the locks and not be able to travel around the network, and we had to go into a marina permanently, and that was something we decided to do rather than move back onto dry land, then we would consider a wide beam.
Yeah.
For us, and I know people love, we love them. We've been on wide beams, and they're absolutely amazing, like floating apartments.
Yeah.
But to be restricted to where we could go isn't why we did what we're doing, I guess. But yes, we would never discount it in the future.
Paddy and Jill's boat isn't really like a floating apartment, is it? It's a bit rough around the edges. I don't know how they cope, to be honest. No, like every time I sat on their boat, it was just like going visiting somebody in a house.
Proper sofa and stuff.
Yeah, a big kitchen, galley. Plenty of room to stretch your legs out on the sofa.
Colin Sheila's is the same. It's like Just stunning, isn't it?
I suppose
Claire.
Yeah. Everyone that we've met with a wide beam, they're always stunning.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I never realised, on a wide beam, when you sat down on the sofa, you can actually see out the window. And when we're sat on a sofa, you can't really see.
No, okay, so you're doing that, aren't you?
You can see up and into the sky, which is good, because the other day, and you're asking our best bits. I think the wildlife that we've seen, the kingfishers, the people we've met, the scenery that we've witnessed, and
definitely the people we've met, I think, is like 100% up there. I think. And we would never have met so many fabulous people.
I know.
And lifelong friends.
Yeah,
and,
I hope so.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say, and you've made me lose track.
Because you started to lose track.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Somebody said, we had a video on TikTok the other day about why we sold our house and moved on to a narrowboat. And we had some good questions and comments from that. And someone was saying, yeah, but it's not so great because it's so popular, it's round. I think we found the opposite of what we thought.
Maybe we're just not going on to
really popular canals like the Clanglocklin and stuff.
Yeah, because they're like touristy, aren't they? So I guess it's going to be busy with people who want to do it, because we want to do it, and holiday boaters, where I guess, you know, the canals we're doing aren't as popular. There's not as many hire boat companies on the canals.
I think we were up in Skipton was popular with hire boats, but I think it was late in the season, wasn't it? It was September, October time, so maybe in the summer it would have been rammed, and I could understand people. But I think we've still been amazed how quiet it is, that some days, even though it's summer,
you don't pass a boat.
You don't pass a single boat all day. So yeah, we found it great in the northwest.
The worst, was it?
Yeah, and the worst thing and the best thing. Sorry, cider's making me burp.
Worst thing I think is, and I think everyone says this, is not being able to have a bath. I do miss it. You never really did, but I used to. I'm surprised I didn't drown, because I used to get in the bath and it was scalding hot, and I'd wake up like an hour later and it'd be freezing.
I think that says a lot about your lifestyle. I never got time for a bath. And if I lay in a bath for 10 minutes, I felt guilty thinking I've got things to do, like clean out the chickens when we lived in a house.
I just
walk the dog.
I'd done enough, and that was my
true.
R&R.
Yeah, it was your way of relaxing, wasn't it? I think I wouldn't say it's the worst thing. I think getting the tyre around the prop was a bad thing. Probably the lack of sleep. I think that's taken us by surprise. We feel like when we're in a new area, it's almost like settling into a new house. You're a bit, and you're not worried or anxious. I think it's just psychological, isn't it?
I think I'm apprehensive when I first get to a place, unless I've been before, or unless I know the area is like a decent area. But if it's a bit of an iffy area, and touch wood, like in some real iffy areas, we've been fine. Yeah. But I think I'm hypersensitive to noise and movement, and
I think I am as well, to be honest. I know you say I snore. No, he says I snore, but I do have a restless night's sleep, and I think what surprised me is the wildlife is a bit like camping, because you'll get ducks pecking on the boat early in the morning.
We always say this because he'll go, "Oh, I hardly slept." It's like, well, I don't sleep very well at all, and every time I was awake, you were snoring, so...
Yeah, but I know when he's asleep, I'm awake. That's what it is. So, yeah, I don't think... That's probably the worst thing. I think one thing that I missed from a house that I didn't think I would, because people said, oh, you know, you like your garden and you've got your space, and we've got all this landscape and scenery, which is amazing, but having a dog, in the summertime... We could just leave the back door open, and Dexter would go in and out the garden whenever he liked, and he could be out all day.
Well, you've got to keep an eye on him, haven't you? It's not secure, and you can't just let him wander.
It's more the fact that there's so many people about on bikes, and there's dog walkers, and you don't know how their dogs, whether they're friendly or not. Yeah. And I think that's one thing I do miss, but...
Not enough to make us go back to try.
No, definitely not. Yes, thanks for those questions. So, I will go to our Facebook questions now, if I can find them. Sing a song, Anthony, while I look.
Oh, God, nobody needs to hear that.
I might be a while finding these.
This is how organised we are.
Yeah. No, I found them.
All right.
But I couldn't save them because there were quite a few questions. Right, talk to camera while I'm doing this. So if you are going to Crick this weekend...
Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing people and putting faces to names.
Just can't wait. We can't leave Lisa and Glenn out camping, though.
I know, it is. Well, they're pretending to camp, aren't they, by taking a tent?
Yeah.
But they're not stopping it. So if they try and pretend on their vlog that they're camping,
no, they've already said.
You've heard it here that they're not actually camping.
They're not camping. They're actually taking a tent and setting it up.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
so they can feel like they're camping.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried because Louise is going, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I think she might be a bad influence on you.
I don't think I need anyone to be a bad influence on me.
Okay, so over to our other questions on Facebook. One from Dawn Dietz. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
Oh, she's been a long time viewer, hasn't she, Dawn? Daisy, which is Dawn's dog, would like to ask Dexter what his favourite spot on the boat for a nap is. Because Daisy prefers a sofa. It's a nice question, isn't it? Are you going to answer that one?
So he used to prefer the sofa with us, didn't he?
Yeah.
And just recently, because now he jumps up and he's coughing more when he jumps, isn't he? But he loves being by the fire, and if he gets too warm, then he'll sleep on the
bathroom floor. Because it's cooler.
He always has his head part way out like this on the fire.
Yeah. And then some days where it's really hot and he's actually lay with his back against the fire and his head on the fire, fireplace. I don't know how he does it. In the house, his favourite spot was always on the top step, wasn't it? And he could see out the door and he could watch you walk past and he could watch out for you coming in from work. But I think it's still dead cute when he goes to the step. He almost knows when Anthony's due home and he'll go to the step or he'll go up onto the stern and sit waiting for you.
Yeah.
I think that's really cute. So yeah, his favourite spot is probably there. And he does sleep in our bedroom. We put his bed at the bottom of the bed, which I think is another reason we wish we had a crossover bed, and it's a bit lower down because he used to sleep on the foot of the bed, didn't he? And he used to just get at the foot of the bed just for like half an hour and then jump
get
off.
too warm.
That's quite nice.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Dawn.
And Daisy.
Oh yeah, and Daisy, of course. Yeah. Hello to Daisy. Yvonne Fairclough, is there anything you would change or rejig on the boat? Well, I think we mentioned that about the bed, didn't we?
Yeah. So. One of the reasons we're really looking forward to Crick as well is we want to see some of the boats on display, just to give us ideas for interior, because we've been on 19 months, and we want to look at ways of improving space and maybe doing some
making it our own. Yeah, titivation is the word I was thinking of, but making it our own, putting our own stamp on it, really, isn't it? Maybe some tiles in the bathroom or tiles in the galley.
Yeah.
But saying that, we thought this was a perfect layout for us, but then we saw a Braebar boat, which was Paul and Kim's, on the Peak Forest Canal, and absolutely loved it. And
however, they don't have a dinette.
No.
And I would miss the dinette, because I really like the dinette. I think it's like, for me, we play cards with friends here, don't we? And it's like we have meals here. It's a real social space, so I think I'd miss that, to be fair.
Yeah, but then Martin and Susan, who we know from Reedley, hello Martin and Susan, they invited us round theirs for a meal and a drink before we left Reedley, and we had a really good laugh, didn't we? Such a nice couple. And their boat is different again, and it didn't have a dinette, but it had a bigger galley and sort of a breakfast bar
with
stools round it, and I thought that would be such a nice place to sit and do my editing and do my art, but then you're going to take up storage in your galley, so I don't know.
I don't think it's a perfect solution, but it's got to fit, and that I think we just want to get some ideas, but I think more for decor rather than. I think the layout is exactly what we wanted.
It works for us, doesn't it? And I think that's why we liked the Bickerstaffe boats.
So, like we've mentioned, the bed. I definitely want to see some different configurations of bedrooms and stuff, and some sort of novel use of space, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So watch this space. So thanks for that, Yvonne. And Mark Myers, who is Mark from Trekking Adventures UK. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
When you first got the idea of living on a boat, did you take any courses to learn the navigation and handling of the boat? So, we did, We did a Helmsman training course, didn't we?
So
with Kev.
Bickerstaffe were really...
adamant?
No, that's not the word. I can't think of the word. It's like...
Insist?
No, nothing like that. It feels like we've been held captive.
They were really
responsible.
Good, very responsible.
Really responsible, because they wouldn't sell you a boat unless you did the Helmsman course. So you pay for the Helmsman course, and if you bought a boat off them, they knocked that cost off the price of the boat.
Yeah, so
it's a really responsible way of selling boats, I think.
And we were only talking the other day how much we enjoyed that Helmsman training course.
Really good
that
day,
weekend was fabulous. They really looked after us, didn't they?
It's made to be like a boutique experience, and it really was. We absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And the boat design was identical almost, wasn't it? So it gave you an idea of what to expect when you moved aboard.
Yeah. So every time we go and sail down Parbold Canal towards Latham, we think of our Helmsman training. And every time you go under that bridge near the Ringer Bells, and it's a really sharp turn, we think of Kev saying, thread the needle, thread the needle.
In a much better Liverpool accent than that.
So thanks for that, Mark. Penny Keepence.
Hi, Penny.
Mr. Pip, who loves our vlogs, would like to ask Dexter if he has ever fallen in the canal. Pip.
That's a whole different vlog.
Pip thinks Dexter seems very skilled, especially when helping to operate the locks. And can he pass on any good tips to other canine crew, please? So he's never fallen in, has he?
No.
Not in the canal. Although walking along the canal, he once went in too far to get a drink, and there were lots of reeds, and I don't think he realised it was the edge of the canal, and he sort of fell in, didn't he?
That was why we got that harness, wasn't it? Because
so we could
really
lift him out.
Really panicked us.
We did get him a life jacket, but it's too big, and he doesn't like wearing it. But to be honest, when he was a pup, he fell in the pond in our garden late at night, and we'd only had him a few days.
He's really wary, isn't he?
And he enjoys water, but he's very cautious.
He'll paddle up to his chest and no more.
So I think that's probably a good thing for us. So any tips? I know you just have to watch Dexter Cam. We've got Dexter Cam coming up soon. I know a lot of people like watching that.
Mr. Pip.
Yeah,
it's just so cute. Some of the expressions.
Mr. Pip's such a character. Oh, so thanks for that, Penny.
Thanks, Penny.
And Mr. Pip as well. Lisa Talbot. Morningstar is a Bickerstaffe boat. What made you know that she was the right boat for you? And I hope this hasn't been asked before. I don't think it has been asked before, has it?
No. So, we obviously knew the Foxes. We'd done research ourselves. We'd been and looked at second-hand boats
for about a year,
and some of them were awful, weren't they? Like some of the ones that were really good were just gone. Like the minute we sort of went to look, they were like, "Oh no, they're sold," and the ones that hadn't weren't sold for a reason.
Yeah.
And then we met Ted and Judith in Parbold, and I just happened to see it because I think they're very distinctive. And I said, "I'm sure this is Bickerstaffe." And then and I said, "Is this your boat?" And then Ted and Judith, being like they are, they were just like, "Oh, come on board." And I was like, "We know this is your home. We're really shocked." But when we got off their boat, we were like, yeah, that's exactly what we want. And
we'd been umming and ahhing about whether it was the right thing to sell the house, because we loved our house and we had great neighbours and it was a brilliant place, very rural for walking Dexter, wasn't it? And we had a really nice garden and we'd done a lot of work to the house and garden, and we had a lot of happy memories there.
It was hard to change your mindset, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because, and I think I've said this before, that we're programmed in the UK to work, to buy a house, pay the mortgage off, and actually for us who don't have kids, our money was tied up in that property, and while we loved it, and you know, when we died, there was a lot of money tied up in it that somebody else was going to benefit from, and it just didn't make sense at all.
And I think we just fancied a bit of adventure, didn't we, in our lives? We got to that stage in our lives where we thought there's more to.
We're going off piece.
This. I know.
Because they were about 20 minutes away from where we lived as well, so I think it was fate. So, you know, it was great during the boat build. We could go up and have a look where we're up to.
And we got to meet all the people there at Bickerstaffe, and we got on really well with them. And
they're
they
a
made
great
us feel
crew,
so
actually.
welcome, didn't they?
Really good crew.
Yeah. And they tried to put us off, to be honest, by, you know, asking us how big the house is and how long do we spend in the shower, would we miss the bath. They did try and talk us out a bit.
I thought he was chatting me up.
Why?
When he was asking how long I spent in the shower.
So yeah, and as soon as we just got a good feel for it. I think it's like when you find a house and you've been looking at houses for a long time, you can walk into a certain house and it just feels right. You can imagine yourself being there. And as soon as we got on a Bickerstaffe that was partly built, and then we got on the KTK,
where we
it convinced us that we loved this boat. And so I don't regret that at all, do we? So thanks for that question. Stuart Turnbull, sorry Stuart, do you ever plan to explore down south on a boat? Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, can't wait. It may be a few years down the line because of work commitments.
I'm still too young to give up work at the moment. Although I plan to go earlier.
He's not as young as he looks, you know.
I'm too young to go to work.
Is that it?
Sorry, I was excited. So, yeah, we definitely do. And we could either.
Yeah.
I could take a massive chunk of my holidays and we could just head down. I could take a career break. But yes, we absolutely 100% do want to go down south.
Yeah. So I want to ask Stuart, are you down south and are you going to look after us if we do go down south on a narrowboat? But yeah, I can't wait personally to do Stratford-upon-Avon, and I know that's not south, but you know, at least we're getting Midlands.
It's further south than us.
Yeah. We have loved the Leeds and Liverpool though, haven't we? It's been stunning.
Yeah.
I think much nicer than we ever imagined. So yeah, we've loved that. So thanks, Stuart. So Alan Amos. Hello, Alan.
Hi, Alan. Alan's been a viewer for a very long time.
Yeah, from the beginning, I think Alan has. Such a massive decision. Any regrets? Even with the stoppages, work commitments and COVID, any regrets at all?
So no regrets. The stoppages were... people are saying that they're getting more frequent. I think when we're stuck in Yorkshire, as much as we loved Yorkshire and we loved the company we were with, it was really frustrating because it sort of held us dead in our tracks, and we never there was no planning for it, was there?
In a way, I think we regretted not going back to the marina sooner, because we've got friends who go out for 6 months of the year and spend 6 months in the marina. So in a way, we regretted that.
But that was never what we wanted to do, was it?
No, but the plus side of that is we got to meet Paddy and Jill and all the people that we met at
Mark
Reedley
and Susan and Martin.
Again, we made lifelong friends because of that, and so in that respect, we don't regret staying out as long as we did. And
things happen for a reason, I think, and you know, everyone's lives take turns, and I'm absolutely 100% with that. Things happen for a reason. At the time, you might not think, you know, and might not like what's happening, but there's always a positive spin on most things, and I think you know, while we were stuck and we couldn't move and 6 months not able to continue travelling, like you said, we met some amazing people. The countryside was stunning. Yeah,
it was beautiful up there, and especially when it snowed.
Yeah.
But I think also, you don't realise what you've got. Is it getting this wrong, Garda? I shouldn't drink cider. You don't realise
what you've got missing until it's gone.
What is it?
That's a saying.
Is it? You don't realise what you're missing until something or other.
I don't think that's a saying at all.
All right, so I'll start again. I'm going ready. The good thing about that was, because we were out so long, it felt even better when we could travel again on the boat, didn't it? It just felt like we'd been set free. And we covered so many miles.
You didn't want to go into marina, did you, anyway?
No.
So it meant we were in a marina for a short period of time. We'd have been in longer if we'd have got to Fettlers, where we planned to go.
Yeah.
So actually, it made us. It gave us a taste of being out in the cut in winter, because it did snow. We were out. Didn't go into the 1st of December, and we only really went in because we were going away.
Yeah.
And then we came out on the 1st of March, so we're only in for 3 months this time. So that's the future, I think.
Yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? Because it was frustrating at the time, because I think I've said this a few times, that for you to get to work was taking a long time, and if I had any shows, which I planned to be back in the St Helens Merseyside area, they were all south of that. So like one day I did one show and it was 220-mile drive there to collect my magic, do the show, drop the magic off and go back to the boat. But again, some of my happiest memories of being on the boat were those few months that we were stuck up in Yorkshire.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think we were really deflated at the time, weren't we, when we found out that we'd got through Gargrave, but then Rishton had had the collapse, and we knew it was going to take at least 6 months to fix, and it did take 6 months to fix. And when we've seen the work that they've done, no wonder it's taken that long to fix.
It was a mammoth task, wasn't it?
But we just make the most of that area because we were near Ingleton and Grassington and all the places that we really loved, and we did go out and explore them, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So, thanks for that question. So, John Hogan, hi John. Can't wait to see this vlog. You guys were so kind to answer my question the last time. I'll let others have a chance this time. Hope you're having a great week. So, thanks for that, John.
Is that John and Dean?
No, it's not.
I think it is.
It's not.
Okay.
Vicky Chadwick. I can't wait for the vlog. I won't send you any questions. I think I've sent you enough already. A question from Christine Story.
Oh.
Who's that? It's my mum. Hello, Mum. How far do we plan to travel?
Oh. This year, or?
I think she mean. I don't know. Probably over the next few years, as far as we can on the network.
As far as we can, yeah. Either direction, like north and south, and east and west.
Yeah, and we'd probably like to go up to Scotland and maybe even do Ireland. It won't be on our boat, but that would be fabulous, wouldn't it? Yeah. So thanks for that, Bob. Jill Wilson.
Is it Jill from Reedley?
It is, yeah. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Is it a big walk between locks at the Wigan flight? It wasn't really, was it?
No. So
Is it 2.25 miles? So you could easily walk it in those 21 locks.
Yeah,
so
it's easier coming down.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We've done it. We've only ever done it going down the flight, haven't we?
I'm more on about when I had to go back for the car, and I had to cycle, and the battery ran out of my...
Oh yeah, nearly 8 miles, wasn't it,
and then
from
it was
the car?
like really hard work going uphill.
Yeah. So yeah, between the locks, not at all.
No.
I think the furthest you walk from one lock to the other is probably about 5 or 6 minutes. Would you say?
If that, yeah.
But we absolutely loved the Wigan flight, didn't we? I think because I'm from that area, and we both know the area quite well. It's just amazing that you're so close to a town centre, yet you feel like you're almost out in the countryside.
Some of the views are amazing, weren't they?
Yeah, especially near the top, stunning views. So thanks for that, Jill. I believe Jill's going to be doing the Wigan flight soon, so she might need some help. Wendy Evans, do you think you'd ever change from a narrowboat to a wide beam? So I think we answered that earlier on, didn't we?
Yeah, we'd never say never.
Yeah. Leia Leby, is it?
Yeah. So Leia's quite a regular.
I know, Leia comments all the time. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your surname, Leia. Where's your favourite mooring been? Oh, I'll let you answer that first.
I think 2 spring to mind for different reasons for me. I absolutely loved what's that area called?
Huddersfield, Peak Forest, Bickerstaffe Basin. I don't know, you have to give me more of a clue. He doesn't know, he's going to say.
I keep wanting to say Stepping Hill, and it's not, because that's a hospital. When they have the stepping stones going over the river.
Oh yeah, Upper Mill.
Upper Mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Upper Mill was lovely.
Loved Upper Mill. Yeah. It was like the archways that came up on my phone the other day.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. And I like Mossley as well. I think 'cause that little cafe that we found.
The little cafe.
So Mossley was the pub.
Yeah.
Where they were all dead chatty, and then if you walk down and across that car
was just
park,
before Upper Mill, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a really nice cafe as well.
Yeah, I wish we could have moored further up than sort of at the top end of Upper Mill, because there was a really lovely cafe, wasn't there, that overlooked the canal?
Was it called the Lime Kiln Cafe?
I think it was, yeah. The one on the right where you were sat upstairs
with a balcony.
on the balcony.
Yeah, Lime Kiln Cafe, I think it was.
Yeah.
Really nice.
But that's definitely our scene, isn't it? Sort of coffee shops and parks and
cocktail.
Yeah.
He had a place that did nice cocktails as well.
I loved doing my art, walking down the canal with Dexter, going over the stepping stones that you mentioned, and walking to the post office through the park. It was just so nice. It was lovely. And all the ducklings were out at the time.
So they were mine. And Bugsworth Basin as well, just because we made us feel so welcome.
Yeah, I was going to say Bugsworth Basin. And really, it shouldn't be anyone's favourite place, because there's a very noisy main road nearby, but there's something magical about the place, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think,
Pablo and Carly, it wouldn't be the same without Pablo and Carly, would it?
No. Where are my favourite spots? I think I like the Peak Forest Canal. I loved Fowl Ridge just because that snow, when we were sat in that cafe and it was nearly Christmas time, and it didn't feel real, and there were boats going past and the snow was falling. It was just almost like from a film or something. It was that perfect. And I think also Bugsworth Basin. But probably, I was quite surprised, Hay Hall, Country Park, Country Park.
Yeah.
Just because we've got the connections with Hay Hall, we used to go there all the time walking Dexter.
It's really quiet as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to do magic shows at the hall as well, and in the courtyard. And again, because it's familiar territory, sort of Wigan, and the people were so friendly, weren't they?
Yeah.
And the wildlife was great. The only thing I didn't like was early every morning. They were cutting the grass on the golf course. So it wasn't the quietest place to stay, but definitely recommend that. So thank you for that, Leia. And Dawn Dietz again. Can you share with us how you set up for trading as a canal path trader, and what has your experience been like so far? So you have to put a proposal forward to the Canal and River Trust and tell them what your business plan is and what your type of business is. They approve or don't approve that plan in writing. Then you've got to get your insurance sorted.
Well, they do it in principle, don't they?
Yeah.
And then you have to show that you've got your...
You've got a much better way of explaining it than me.
Well, it's not my thing, but I remember you told me that it was an acceptance in principle.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that you had to meet certain criteria, like your insurance and
public liability. And then my first day of trading wasn't brilliant, but I sold a few. But it was really nice because I was trading near Paddy and Jill with their sweet boat. They were dead helpful setting me up, helping set it up as well, weren't they? And then another trading day where I expected it to be really quiet, I did really, really well. And then a couple of times that I've set up, it's been dead quiet. We found out there was a football match on, so everybody's in the pub watching the football. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed chatting to people as well. And we put a bowl of water out for the dogs that are passing, because we know, it's you don't really want your dog drinking from the canal anyway. But when we take Dexter for a walk, he gets very thirsty because he's an elderly dog, and people were so grateful. And you get chatting to dog owners, and they'd sometimes buy art, and that was a really nice thing to do.
Yeah. Oh. And then we had some viewers come, didn't they? One of them brought us a bottle of wine.
Oh, that was at Parbold, wasn't it? Yeah.
One brought us some eggs.
Some viewers made a special trip after work to come and see us and buy some artwork, and then that lady that from the farm down the road brought some eggs and bought some artwork as well. So nice meeting people, especially when you're in
your daughter came, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, that's all our questions, Anthony.
Is it?
Yeah. It's gone really quick, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed the questions and answers.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed it,
we
enjoyed
answering what people were wondering.
Yeah, you're honoured, because it's difficult turning Anthony away from below deck.
And I blame Kevin Sue for that. But it's proper trash TV, but it's very addictive.
Yeah. Now, you said you're a bit anxious about going to cricket, aren't you? Why do you think you're anxious?
I think I'm more concerned for Dexter, really. I think that's what's making me anxious, because I know he tires easily now, and I'm just a bit concerned that it might be a bit too much for him.
We did wonder whether we were doing the right thing taking him, but our friends Fiona and Jude, who were travelling down with in their camper van, they've said if he gets too tired, they're happy to sit with him.
Well, and I actually, like a trooper, said that if he gets really tired...
Like a trooper?
Dexter and I will go and sit in the beer tent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll go and sit in the cake tent with Dexter. But I did say to Anthony that last year when we were chatting to people, Dexter would just lay down and rest.
I'm sure he'll be fine. That's the only reason I'm really anxious.
Yeah, as long as it's not too hot. If it's a nice temperature, I think he'll be fine. Yeah. And we just can't wait to go. And because we're camping, and we used to do that a lot with Dexter, we're quite looking forward to having a camping trip with Dexter again, aren't we?
You've been camping for 50 odd years, Bob.
It's not 50 odd, don't tell everyone. You'll soon be 50.
55.
You'll soon be 50.
55?
50. Oh, he's avoiding the subject there,
I'm not 56.
No. He's adding another year. I'm going to be 55 at the end of the year, Anthony.
You're going to be 50. Oh, yeah, 55 this year.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'll let you off.
Yeah. I'll let you off in a minute. But we want to say a big thank you to all of our patrons.
Yeah, thanks so much.
For all your support, and a big thank you to our members on YouTube, and also to you for watching all of our videos. Yeah. And if you've not already subscribed, you know the score. Please subscribe. It really does help the channel, doesn't it? Makes us feel good too. And yeah, make sure you give the video a like if you want to, and keep your comments coming, because we love replying to everybody's comments. We won't be able to reply straight away because we'll be at Crick until Sunday.
Oh yes, yeah. So, and the signal's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you don't sleep, so you can just answer them at night.
Well, you can't, because there's no signal.
Oh yeah, the signal's shocking.
Really bad. So apologies this week, we don't get to answer in a timely fashion, but we will get round to answering the questions.
Yeah. And you're probably wondering, we are on the Bridgewater Canal, and after Crick we're going to head either onto the River Weaver or down to Northwich and Middlewich. So hopefully we'll see some of you around then.
Yeah, it's a rough plan, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I thought you were going to say it's a rough place then. It's not a rough place at all.
Or maybe I was just going to say you were rough.
Right. I'm going to hide his cider because he's not to drink again, and we really look forward to meeting you at Crick if you're going to be there, and if not, we'll chat to you when we get back. Thanks a lot for watching.
Okay, take care, have a good evening.
Just to let you know, Dexter's fast asleep behind us. He's been very quiet tonight, hasn't he?
Oh, it's because he's exhausted. It's 2 days of travelling like non-stop for 6 hours.
Yeah, yesterday was about a 7-hour journey, and he only lay down after about 7 hours, didn't he? Bless him. But yeah, he's well, and we're looking forward to meeting everybody at Crick.
Yep.
Take care. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.